fourth topic is about transition back into school.
When lockdown was over, how did you and your child's teachers manage that transition back into school?
All of the time that he was at home, I was concerned, how was he going to manage the transition of going back to school in September, having had such a prolonged amount of time away from school?
The school was holding a sports club over summer there. We thought it would be an easier way for him to get into the school visually. So we signed him up and he went. And luckily as well, the classroom they used for the sports club is his classroom, which also meant that he knew where the toilet was, he knew the playground, the dinner hall. That couldn't have been planned any better.
I asked school to send some photos of when she had enjoyed things at school previously, so that we could talk about them. So they sent some photos of it. She enjoys school trips. She's a very hands-on type person. She could see herself in the pictures and just a little reminders like that over the summer.
I think what would really help is to work really closely with the parents. That's key and fundamental. Have online Zoom video calls, videos of the school, the changes within the school, an extra dining hall and about the bubbles and so forth, photographs of the new teachers, what the timetable would look like.
I wanted to have a picture of his classroom, a picture of his new teachers, because he's got a job share teachers in year 2 as well, which I thought might be a struggle, but it hasn't been, which is good. A picture of his TAs, any types of differences that I need to know. And we made a little book. We've done this since reception. Every year we've done this because he didn't have that transition day going up to his new, classroom. And that, I think that always helps, those visuals. And just preparing him with our PECS calendar. Okay, how many days now is it to go to school? Okay, how many days now? And he was so excited.
There's a lot of emphasis on all the things that are changing. That is good because we know that autistic people struggle with change, but there are lots of things that are staying the same. And I think it can get a bit overwhelming to tell them all the things that are changing. I think it's quite good to know the things that are staying the same.
Her new teacher, I have to say, is fab, and he's massively gone out of his way to connect with her. So I had a video call with them at the end of the term. He wanted to know what she liked, what her interests were, what he needed to have in the classroom for her. He basically just agreed to everything. I went, she's going to need this, she's going to need this, and he went, yeah, fine, done. This has probably been the best transition back to school. I don't know if it's because she's had such a massive break, or if maybe there's more of a well-being focus. Certainly in my school, there's a lot of making sure the kids are okay, making sure they understand how they feel. So I don't know if that has had an impact, so they haven't gone straight in with the educational stuff.
Her having a choice of things to do was important to her as well, so that she could have several different, maybe 2 or 3 different activities and choose from those. So that's something the school put in place. I'd say one of the really challenging bits of getting her back in was trying to find an adult that she could trust in school, I think, because it had been such a long time since she'd been in.
I think it's a bit daunting if they're put in a bubble and they don't know anybody and they've not got a friend in the bubble. And I know that's a logistical nightmare, but I think that's really quite hard to expect children to stay in the same bubble all day and not really have somebody that they really sort of gel with.
Of course, we had a confirmed case of COVID. So then it was mandatory that the children wear the face masks. He is exempt and he's just like, Mum, they're not wearing it properly. They're going to spread the virus. This is really, Mum, it's really bad. And so there's all that anxiety that's going on.
So when he asked, how do I go up to the resource provision, he was told, you can't do that now because of COVID. But his needs haven't changed. And when I raised it, I was sort of told that, well, he needs to ask the teacher. But it's putting the onus on him. So I have arranged it with the school that TAs a couple of times, 2 or 3 times a day, just check that he's okay and whether he needs some downtime.
The communication with school's been more difficult because it all has to be over the phone. We can't just pop into the school office. So we've been trying to make sure that there is really good communication between the visits so that if anything throws her in one, they know about it for the next time. So her attendance is still really minimal at the moment. It is 1 morning a week. Is how do we gradually step up that attendance with the school supporting her and us supporting her so that it works and she succeeds and feels good about it.